Meanwhile, all the roads in the Kokstad area in KwaZulu-Natal, which were closed due to snowfall, have been reopened to traffic. Earlier today, roads leading to and from Kokstad were closed due to heavy snowfall overnight, which cut the town off from the outside world. Trucks and other vehicles were stuck in heavily congested traffic for several hours. Gale-force winds also lashed the province, with the south coast area the hardest hit. The province says there have been no fatalities, but 7 people suffered moderate injuries due to damaging winds. Heavy snowfall in the Drakensberg in southern KwaZulu-Natal overnight led to the closure of the N2. A long queue of vehicles stretching for more than a kilometre was seen waiting to continue their journey on Tuesday afternoon. And this as authorities implemented a stop and go to allow for graders to remove snow from the road surface. Authorities urge motorists to delay their trips to the Kokstad area. All right, let's get an update now. We speak to Lwanda Madikizela, who's the Mayor of Kokstad, who's joining us live now. Good evening to you, Mayor, and thank you so much for your time. While we do understand that all the roads that were closed due to snowfall have been reopened, but one wonders, have you been able to get through all the snow that has been on the roads and be able to be assisted to reopen every single stretch of road?
Good evening to you and good evening to the listeners. Yes, of course, we have been throughout the day doing an assessment, visiting the various areas where there has been heavy snowfall, but also working with a multidisciplinary task team to ensure that where there's areas where there has been road closure with the Department of Transport, law enforcers, we reopen those particular areas. But I must say it has been a quite cold season, of course, but exciting for our tourists, particularly those that are snow followers. But indeed, we have managed throughout when we're visiting, working with law enforcers to ensure that where there has been road closure, we've opened those particular areas. But of course, where there have been people that have been stuck, we're able to make means to ensure that we extricate them, we're able to open the roads, then to allow a space where people can be able to move to their destination. But of course, with the message that we've been carrying out throughout the day, we've been saying people should postpone their trips because such a heavy rainfall as well as the snow could have had implications into their lives, particularly because we don't want to see any road fatalities on the road. But I can confirm that none of the infrastructure damage has been reported, but none of the fatalities and incidents on the road that has been reported throughout the process.
And let's speak about the 7 people then who suffered moderate injuries, and we understand this was due to damaging winds. What were the circumstances there? Do you know?
The Department of Health has also sent some ambulance services to come and assist in that particular incident. And I want to confirm that we have not seen any fatalities as I've confirmed. But of course, we have been warning our people throughout and our motorists to say, when there's such as early systems, warning systems, people should remain in their particular areas and don't travel in such a bad weather, because we are avoiding that people will now face fatalities on the road. So we've been carrying out the message throughout the province. In South Africa general, we've been saying people should postpone their trips. But also it has been an exciting season for our tourists. We've come to Kokstad as well as Underberg in other areas that have had the snowfall. But generally, we have been working with our disaster teams on the ground since the day one. The province and the MEC Duma have gave us the early warning systems, but we have made sure that we put in place our disaster team to respond. They have been proactive in terms of ensuring that we reduce the number of fatalities. And the damages that have happened, we would have seen electricity that has in certain areas have been out because of wind disruptions, but we have worked with our teams to ensure with ESCOM we restore those particular lines.
And you speak about, I'm going to circle back to early warning systems in just a moment, but you're speaking about the fact that, of course, it's good for tourism, but at the same time, you are asking motorists to be cautious. Have they been listening?
They have been listening. To some of them that have been interacting with them. We've been calling upon them to postpone their trips, and some of them have been turned away. We had to make some road closures, particularly on R56, R61, which goes to Swartberg, and R56 that cross from Kokstad to Madikizela, but also the N2, where we've been making sure that it has not been any access to that particular roads, because there have been a heavy snowfall, particularly on the roads, and where the condition was very, very bad. So they've listened, and some of them have taken our caution, because we want to ensure that we save lives on the road, particularly when the conditions were like this. Particularly that is also, there has been very strong winds that we've experienced as Kokstad.
And I know we speak about, at some point trucks being stuck on the roads, motorists and all of that, but with snow also comes the impact on livestock. What has been the impact there?
There has not been any reports. Remember that we had a jog today where we sat with the multidisciplinary teams getting reports as to are there any incidents when it comes to livestock. None has been reported. But also you would understand that when trucks are stuck, then the economic activity does not continue. Therefore, we had to inspire confidence to our investors to ensure that the road closures that have been conducted, we continue to open them using our Department of Transport equipment to reopen those particular lines so that people can proceed to their destination. But of course, as I've said, that we need to ensure that when there's that particular weather conditions, people must remain in their areas so that we reduce the number of fatalities on the road, as well as incidents that might occur because of the bad weather. Where there has been challenges of electricity, the municipality and ESCOM have been working around the clock to restore those particular lines. But also where there has been transformers due to winds, strong winds, we have been able to ensure that we work to restore those particular transformers in those particular areas.
And you spoke earlier on about the early warning systems, and we know that the extreme weather patterns are becoming a bit more frequent, and you say that it's important for people to know what is coming. But the criticism has always been about the fact that when it comes to the early warning systems, word does not go around fast enough in order to be able to reach everybody so that they don't find themselves stuck or making their way towards an area where there could be some serious conditions there that can impact their trip and, obviously then causing them to be stuck. How are you improving the early warning systems, particularly when it comes to communication?
I think what is important is that we need to deal with the issue of ignorance to our people, because the early warning systems are there, particularly in the provincial disaster management centers. Communication has been sent throughout the country, as well as the weather services have been carrying out information to say people should not travel due to the bad weather conditions that are going to be. Also, the levels that have been communicated to our people, then I think it's an issue of ignorance to our people, but particularly on the level of government and municipalities, we ought to ensure that we augment our capacity to respond on whatever issues that might come across as a result of this bad weather. But we have been having a proactive disaster management team and law enforcers on the ground to respond quickly. As I indicated, that has not been none of the incidents that have been reported. But basically, what is important is that we must continue to ensure that we improve our communication to our people so that they would understand that such bad weather conditions, we need to refrain and restrain ourselves by remaining in our respective areas to avoid such fatalities on the ground.
All right, Mayor, thank you so much for your time and for giving us an update there. That was Lwanda Madikizela, who is the Mayor of Kokstad.